Alrighty, so I'm going to do a short follow-up video to week 5 attendance based on a request I got about something I did in this video. So one of the things I did is when I was checking out the code and talking about it today, um, and I'll use the example folder or the W4 directory when I actually was in looking at the HTML is I opened something called live server. Let me blow this up just a little bit so you can see this. So, and I love live server and I use it all the time. And there's a couple ways you could use it, but just to be clear as well, you can just open up the index file in the browser. Now, I believe, and this may be an extension or something set up in VS Code, but I know if I right click on the HTML open in the browser, I can do that as well. I believe it should open somewhere here. Let's see if it is. Open in the browser. Watch it not do it. So I can do it the other way around. So the other way I would do that is I could just pull up my file manager, navigate to my desktop, navigate to 93, and then into the public. I'm showing you the hard way here, which is not what the student asked for, but I just want to just, because it's good to remind ourselves. So here, when you're actually looking at the file perspective here, you can right click and tell it open with a particular browser. You can do it that way. So like if I wanted to open it with Chrome, that's a great way to do it. The difference here for what I showed in the video was that I'm using something called live server. So if you do a search for live server, you'll find that there's a couple ways to get it. It actually shows right here. I didn't plan this. These are the two ways though. You can get it as part of Visual Studio Marketplace or from NPM. Now I typically do NPM installs because that's just an easier way for me to get it. But let me show you both ways. So in here, now when you're in Visual Studio Code, and I think we've looked at maybe one or two extensions, but if not, go to extensions and type live server. Live server, is that the right one? The other thing is before I ever install something, I look at how many people have installed it. So 7 million is probably a good number, right? So you could just install it into the browser and then it looks like you could look. I don't run it this way, so I'm not as familiar with it, but I'm sure you can. Details, just run live server. I'm just looking at the command so you can see it. Looks like right here. Yeah, open the project, click on go live. So there should be it'll add this to your VS Code. Again, I don't do this. This is how I do it. And this is how you can do it. And let me show you now going back here. So there's a very common thing to install packages into your system. And this is part of why when I had you guys set up the repos, I had you ignore Git node modules. But in this case, this is also a global module. So I'm going to copy, and this is the command you do at the command line, right? So I'm going to copy that, and that's a nice, easy way to do it. And then you can just paste it. Oh, that's not the right one. It's pulling up something else. Okay, let me see if it grabbed it or not. Let me hit paste. Yeah, it still got the same one. So let me try it again. I could actually just type it in. So let me just do a clear, open this up a little bigger. So very common, npm, you can do install or you can just do npm I, which is also install live server. Now, when you install this, it'll actually add to what's called your path of your system so that whenever you're in a directory, it'll work. So first run that command, make sure there's no errors and it installs correctly. So the nice thing is once you have it, you go to whatever, like I could actually go here. If I ran live server, the key would be I'm running it from this directory, which is my base directory. This would work, but what's going to happen is I actually have to click into public, into learn together, into week 4, and then I see it. right? So that works too. I mean, that's totally fine. So the other way you could do it, and the way I typically do it, and the way I do it, I did Control C there to get out of it, is I go into the directory. And if you haven't seen that little trick that is so awesome that I believe Chris showed me because we were talking about this the other night, you can just open terminal in that directory. And then now that I'm here, pwd, okay, I just do live server, and then it just runs and I don't have to do anything else. So the last thing I'll say about live server that's so awesome is that whenever you modify code, like if I went in here and added like an H1 and I said, hello world, this is what's awesome, is that it automatically updates, not automatically, it does live update or hot updates as soon as you code. And I like that service. When you're doing it the other way I was showing before from this perspective, and the way you know it is just opening in the browser is it says the whole folder. This is not live updated, but check this out. You can just hit refresh to get that. So it works either way. Anyway, great question. Thanks for asking. Hope this answers it.